friends. I'm Jill Wyoskowski, a librarian at Caroline Kennedy Library. Altered Books is an in-person art program for adults that was meeting prior to the COVID-19 pandemic at Caroline Kennedy Library. You may be wondering, what exactly is an altered book? An altered book is a form of mixed media art that changes a book from its original form into a new and different form, thus altering the book's appearance and/or meaning. In other words, the spirit of the program is to take an old, damaged, or unwanted book and upcycle it by giving it a new purpose, which in turn gives the book a new life. In this episode, I'll introduce an altered idea, the Color Burst Project. The inspiration for this project came from attendees of the Altered Books program. At each meeting, I have Pinterest loaded and projected on the wall in the program room for ideas and inspiration. The group spotted this image and showed interest in the project being highlighted at a future meeting. While browsing Pinterest on my own, I spotted this creation by Love Becca and really wanted to incorporate some of the ideas into my color burst. I absolutely dig collaging and ended up putting my own spin on the project. As a result, I ended up with this alteration in my book. Whichever path you choose for your project, you'll need a supply list. Let's get started. For this project, you'll need the following supplies: a hardcover book for altering. Stay tuned for more information on this part. Mod Podge, a ruler, a pencil, scissors or an X-Acto knife. And for the color burst or the rays, you'll have some options: old magazines, construction paper, or tissue paper. My method? Feather-shaped bursts using colored tissue paper. For the center, you'll need to decide if you want text or an image. For my project, I printed an image for my Instagram account. For the text, again, you'll need to decide your method: handwritten, typed, and printed using your home printer, or even a label maker, or the funky magazine lettering route that I opted for. And optional, paint, watercolor, or acrylic in the event you wish to change the background of your page before adding anything else. Before the fun begins, you'll need to do a little prep work on the book you're about to alter. If you're new to Altered Books or need a refresher, please take a few and watch the intro video, which covers book selection, and the pre-project prep video, which lays out the removal and gluing of pages. These videos can be found via the Dearborn Heights City Library YouTube channel. Step 2, the background. The first question you should ask yourself: are you happy with the background? I was not. This is the time to work on the background. If you want it to be a solid color, grab your acrylic paint and make a few coats. If you'd like your background to be muted, consider using watercolors or a watered down bit of acrylic paint. I opted to glue on vintage book pages for my background as I was not digging the artwork. Let your alteration fully dry before moving on to the next step. Next up, working on the center. The next question to ask yourself: what do you want in the middle? The bigger question: what is your altered book going to be about, or what is your theme? For my page, I printed a mysterious looking picture of me from Instagram, slapped some Mod Podge on the back, and called it good. If your book is about travel, maybe glue an image you captured from a trip in the middle. The artist of the image which inspired this project tied her piece in with a fun event she was participating in: 30 days of lists. Her color burst looks like various aspects of her identity. Whichever path you choose, your project is exactly that: your project. Make it unique, put your own spin on it. Color time. As always, you have options and lots of them. The original artist created mosaic-like bursts using colorful pages from magazines. You could create razor bursts using construction paper or even acrylic paint. I selected various shades of purple and blue tissue paper, cut out feather-like shapes, and glued them around the picture in the middle. Pretty simple. And for the last step, adding words. For my project, I went with words and letters from old magazines, a funky kind of look. I made a list of words and then flipped through a small stack of magazines and snipped letters here and there. Other options: handwrite your words using a high-quality permanent marker or a calligraphy pen. Use your home printer or label maker if you want a more uniform look. Whatever path you choose, let your project dry. And bazinga, you just completed the Color Burst project. Thank you for stopping by and checking out this episode of Altered Books. As always, we would love to see your projects, even if you're just getting started. Feel free to email your photos to dhreference@gmail.com or use hashtag dhclibraries on social media. I'm Jill Wyoskowski with Caroline Kennedy Library. Stay connected with us at dhcl.mishlibrary.org and on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and now on Pinterest. Thanks for tuning in.